Hey folks, this is Matt once again, bringing you my thoughts and rant and retcon bullshit! Good friend of mine, John 0cool1389, sent me this. The event series of the X-Files, aka Season 10, aka whatever you want to call it. The revival. 6 episodes, which I'll be upfront. There were 3 episodes I liked, and there's 3 episodes that I really did not like. At all. Of the 6 episodes, the first and last one are mythology based, which were horrendously the worst. Retcon bullshit, which really pissed me off. And as a slap in the face as a fan, as an insult to my intelligence as a fan. And Chris Carr has graduated. He's graduated to the level of George Lucas with this bullshit, with that bullshit, or even more so. X-Files, I want to believe the movie is better than the first and last episode of this, called My Struggle, and then My Struggle Part 2. And there's a lot of shit in this that pisses me off. But again, there are 2 or 3 episodes that are good. But you know what? 3 episodes out of 6? That's 50%. You know, if you're in school and you get 50% on your paper, that's called an F for fail, for fuckstick, or D- for dickhead, or douchebag. So 50% is not good enough. Now people go, well, you're not a fan. Oh, I'm not a fan. Yeah, I just have this. Yeah, I just have fucking this. Yeah, I just have this, as well. Book of the Unexplained Volume 1. I even have a Volume 2, which talks about real life stuff. I just have all of these, Season 1 through 9, on DVD. I would get them on Blu-ray, but they're too damn expensive. Yes, even the last couple seasons, which I liked more than this. Yeah, it's sad that David Duchovny, but that was his choice wanting to leave, and Gillian Anderson. I like Robert Patrick as Agent Doggett. And they have more opportunity to have more episodes I like. Because it's not just 6. And it didn't fucking retcon everything before it pretty fucking much. In fact, I want to do a video after this, just briefly going through episodes through each season that I like. Nothing in depth because it'd be too damn long, and I'd have to rewatch them to get a fresh mind, but just off the top of my head. Now, okay, there are 6 episodes. My Struggle, the premiere, which I fucking hated. Founders Mutation, the second one, I liked a lot. Mulder and Scully meet the Weremonster, actually pretty interesting and clever. Home Again, okay. Like, the X-Files stuff was really interesting. But there's some other stuff that kind of hampered it. But overall, I would give it a thumbs up. Babylon, pretty crappy. My Struggle 2, very shitty, with a stupid cliffhanger. Which, I know there's talks that it's going to get another season. But how the fuck did they know that while making it? They didn't. They didn't know they'd get another year. Another movie, whatever. Hell, after that second movie underperformed because it was a piece of shit, Fox didn't want anything to do with this. And what sucks about it is I like David Duchovny, I like Gillian Anderson, I think they do a good job. Mitch Pileggi is back as Skinner, but he's barely used. If you combine it, all 6 episodes, he has like 10 minutes of screen time total. The Cigarette Smoking Man, I'll get to him when I get to the last episode. which doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, he's burned up. Bullshit! Unless he has the same thing Michael fucking Myers has. Well, what about Donald Pleasance? At least they didn't show Donald Pleasance getting blown up. In the last episode of this season, you slowly see... You know what? I'll wait on that. Let me get into what pissed me off the most. Because that's what started with the first episode, ended with the last episode. Premiered with Roswell, a ship landing with some ho-hum CGI and broad daylight. People go in, look, shoot an alien who's trying to escape as the ship has crashed. And then this Joel McHale, who I liked in Deliver Us from Evil, and he's been on other stuff. Joel McHale is in this pretty much as a Bill O'Reilly type of guy, very much into conspiracy theories on this web show, and he's rich. And he wants Mulder. He contacts Skinner, who contacts Scully, who contacts Mulder. Mulder and Scully get together, talk with this guy, Joel McHale, and he shows Mulder this UFO that humans, government built, which has, what was it that it had? I want to get specifically, free energy, and it could disappear. And pretty much, which Mulder buys into very quickly, that after a lifelong obsession with aliens, and all the experience, you know, and all this, and remember that first movie, Fight the Future, which I reviewed on this channel, and I like a lot. The aliens, well, they're not really a thing. See, they existed a long time ago, and, you know, they come down here to warn us of our, you know, global shit. But since then, it's been the government pretending to be aliens so they could plan a mass invasion from within to topple the government and take over America, and 9/11 false flags, and they're take over America by men using alien technology. And then by the last episode, oh, the cigarette smoking man set it up so that he's kind of like, you know, he'll be one of the few that'll survive, and it was men all along using alien technology. And I'm like, you just took a decade of mythology and one fell swoop said, nuh-uh, no. I mean, aliens do exist, but you know all that stuff you saw with the black oil, the aliens with no eyes, how there were two warring alien factions, and there's the ones with no eyes and this, and they're fighting a silent war. And remember that first movie with the bees and the colonization? Remember that thing, the black oil? Remember Brian Thompson and the alien bounty hunter? Remember the super soldiers? That was just the government. Fucking, just the government alone. Fucking with Mulder or fucking with people. And I'm like, but we've seen this shit. What about Brian Thompson? Who the fuck is he then? What about the black oil? What about all the shit that Mulder went through at season 7 and 8 and touching that artifact and fucking with his head and almost dying, and there was a fucking line of dialogue that says, in a way, we're all aliens because we all have that DNA. And well, it's the smallpox and the government put that in. It's strictly that. I'm like, this is like someone who has never seen the TV show writing this shit. Yes, I understand it got confusing. That was one of my complaints about the mythology. But you don't do a fucking Dallas! For those who don't know, the TV show Dallas had a whole season, and then they just retconned it where Patrick Duffy comes out of a shower because his character was dead, and oh, it was all a dream. This isn't, it's not a dream, but it's just, you retconned it all! That makes no fucking sense! So, X-Files, the first movie with Martin Landau, his character, that didn't fucking matter. The black oil, I guess that's a government thing too? Government created it? What about the first movie when people and aliens were coming out of people? And that big fucking spaceship? And then Mulder believes this Joel McHale guy, who again is running conspiracy crazy shit on web series. He believes him in like 10 fucking minutes. Now, people could say, well, in the future, that's all bullshit. First off, you don't know there's a future. If there's a future, you don't know that's where Chris Carter's going. And third off, that's not said in this fucking shit. You just retconned it all. Yeah, that wasn't fucking aliens. Yes, government working with aliens because there's a Armageddon coming. And people go, well, Matt, the reason they had to do that is because they put a date that it'd be 2012. But it's past 2012 and they couldn't get a movie made. That's not my fucking problem. Or you could say, they even have a line here, oh, it started in 2012, but slowly people getting sick throughout it. Oh, we start the plan, but doesn't mean the plan's going to take 5 minutes. The plan's going to take a few years. Say you started 2012. But you don't just retcon and throw out all the... There were aliens in the past, but all this shit going on in this series, all this stuff here, it was just strictly government. Even though we've seen aliens again and again and again. It makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's idiotic. It's insulting and it's force-fed bullshit that I can't believe people are swallowing. If you're a fan, I don't see how you swallow this. How you don't call bullshit on this. All the shit that was happening. The Sixth Extinction, the Sixth Extinction 2, Requiem, all this stuff. Mulder being affected, and Mulder himself getting abducted, and... Then what was that all about? Sorry, it'd be too hard for us to think of it, so we're just gonna pussy out and retcon, because we're a bunch of fucking pussies. Fuck you, Chris Carter. Fucking farter. Go fart your own face and get the fuck out of my face. You fuck face. Fuck this first fucking show. I was ready to throw this out the fucking window. I don't even have a fucking window. I have to break a fucking hand through a fucking wall, create a fucking window to throw it out the fucking window. Fucking, goddamn it. But I didn't throw it that hard, because when it's the standalone episodes, I actually like. Like the second episode. Founder's Mutation, thought it was interesting. A guy, he's hearing this high-pitched sound, wants it to shut it off, puts the thing in his ears, stabs himself, he dies. Some people think it's suicide. Mulder and Scully come in. And he deals with this doctor doing genetic manipulation, how these kids are affected, some really good practical effects, some really, really good practical effects that make you go, ooh. And how you find out this doctor had manipulated his own wife, and how one daughter can like breathe underwater, and the mom finds out her kid's been manipulated on a genetic level and wants to leave, and she's pregnant. And the father, aka doctor, wants her to not leave, and she had gone, and she had heard, and only to find out it was her baby telling her to let him out, and she cuts her own stomach open, the baby, see a little bit of it coming out, but now, of course, it's many years later, and it's this kid who lets out this sound. You know how animals can hear certain sounds that we humans can't? Kind of like a dog whistle. You don't hear anything, but the dog can. Mulder had heard that at one point, and it said, like, find her. Help me find her. Ultimately, they find the kid, bring him to the doctor. The kid gets to the girl. They both fly Mulder and Scully away with their powers. Fuck up the doctor who's bleeding from his eyes. Those two escape. And also in between, there's some good emotion because Mulder and Scully had a kid named William that they gave up for adoption in the later seasons. So it's not like they disregard stuff, because you have Agent Reyes, who is in season 8 and 9. She appears. And you have, the William, who appear later seasons. So it's like a retcon, but it's like, oh yeah, that shit you believed in didn't really matter. The aliens colonizing the Earth with the bees, the black oil, that was all bullshit from the cigarette smoking man and them, just to fuck with you. I'm like, then what about all these other people? Like the well-manicured man, that guy, and Marin Landau, and Deep Throat from the first 2 episodes? What, they were all just lying to Mulder, or they were all being manipulated by cigarette smoking man? Was he fucking Jigsaw from the Saw movies? He just sees so far, he's fucking psychic? But anyway, sorry. This episode, I do like the second one. They both think of their kid William, what he's like today, because nowadays he'd be 15 and they don't know where he is, but because they gave up for adoption for safety, so he wouldn't be hurt, or because of the stuff Mulder and Scully do. And they picture like what life would have been if they didn't have to give him up for adoption. So he has some good emotion. David Duchovny and Jill Anderson do a good job, and it was also an interesting enough story. The third story, again, standalone story, more of a humorous one, I liked. The one thing I didn't like about it is, why the fuck is Mulder questioning monsters exist? I'm like, again, do they not watch the fucking series that they fucking make? Why is Mulder having any question into any existence of monsters? Why? I mean, how many fucking episodes have they seen monsters and creatures of some sort? Which season? I think it was the first one. The Host. No, I think that was the second one. The Flute Man and the Host. Yeah. I don't know if there'd be a picture on here. But what about that creature? What about all the other fucking creatures that Mulder has seen? Mutants and creatures. There was one episode called Detour. There's one episode, The Ice, with the little... different kinds of creatures. Different kinds of monsters. And that's part of the problem. I don't buy this doubt after 9 fucking seasons of it. You can't try to go back to square one. Like Scully, she cannot be a skeptic anymore after 9 seasons of going through this. No one buys it. I don't buy it. I don't buy Mulder questioning any existence of creatures. I don't buy this retcon bullshit of, alien colonization, that whole thing. That first movie, none of that fucking mattered. None of that was really it. I don't buy it. So that part of that episode, I didn't like that. That makes no fucking sense. It's fucking stupid. But I like the look of the lizard monster, practical, got horns around him. And I like the idea. It wasn't the typical a person got bit and became this monster. It was a lizard person that got bit by a human and unfortunately will transform into a human. Instead of transforming into a monster wanting to eat people, it's a lizard person who only eats insects, transporting into a human, and then getting urges to get a job. And he finds an outfit, which is a nod to Kolchak Night Stalker, which was cool. And I thought that was a really fun twist. Like, he's not a thing that wants to hurt people. It's like, I've been bit by a human, now I have, from time to time I turn to human. I don't want to be a human. I don't want to go look for a job. I just want to be where I was at out in the woods. And the person killing people is just a regular guy. So I thought it was a really clever, interesting twist on it. And I wasn't sure about it at first, but when that twist was revealed, I thought there was a very interesting, clever, well-written one. The only thing I didn't like is at the beginning, Mulder questioning the existence of monsters, creatures, because I'm like, he's seen enough. I mean, how many fucking things does he need to see? Same with Scully. Again, you cannot turn back the clock. We're not fucking idiots. Even though you want us to think, Chris fucking farter. The next one, what was it? I threw the fucking thing. I don't know the title. Home Again, something like that. That was interesting. The idea. Sort of this thing thought up through thought. A form. Sort of thought into existence. That will appear as like a spray paint painting. And is helping the homeless by killing these people. But at the same time is still a villain. Because these people didn't do anything that bad. And pretty brutal too. They'll take a person and rip his arms off. Or one person rips an arm off and rips the head off. And you see a little bit of the spinal. And we'll put like body parts into this truck, this dumpster, garbage truck, and we'll crawl in. And like, really interesting X-File. Really interesting story. It was just a bit hampered because this whole Mulder and Scully don't really get... They get brought in, but then good chunks are brought up of, well, Scully's mom had a heart attack, and she's in the hospital. And then she doesn't understand why her mom has this quarter thing, which is never explained throughout the entire season. This quarter thing, like she's confused by it. She never finds out. And then it didn't need to be in there. I'm sorry, because I didn't fucking care. I'm sorry that Scully's mom dies. Spoiler. Ooh. I don't care. No one... I hate to be the asshole, but no one cared about Scully's mom. And then they use that to try to have a jumping off point by... She mentions their son. Which I'm like, that was done better in the second episode. It's almost as if this show has to constantly remind people this season that, oh yeah, they had a son named William. They had a son named William. They had a son named William. I'm like, I get it. I understand. Because you use it in the recap at the beginning, and then you, at least for some of these shows, and you mention like all the fucking time. I understand that. I would rather have them just focus on this very interesting X-File story idea. Hell, if the second movie had this idea, it'd be a better fucking movie. A fucking monster thought of existence helping the homeless in a city setting that rips fucking arms off and rips heads off. That'd be better than a bunch of fuckos kidnapping people for head transplants. Bullshit. And a pedophile priest that I don't give a fuck about. So the whole thing with Scully's mom, that was boring as shit. But the X-File was interesting. And at the end it didn't matter because they didn't really solve it. They got too late and the thing killed the last person it wanted to kill. So it didn't really fucking matter. They know the truth of what happened, but... Which, to be granted, a lot of episodes did that, but still. But I liked the idea behind it. When it was centered on that, I liked. So that's why I gave it overall a thumbs up. But then the last two, fucking shitty. One was Babylon, which these two terrorists, because it's 2016, we gotta get terrorists in there of the Muslim variety. Two blow up a place, one's still alive. They try to get information. They bring in this younger guy and girl who are like a younger version of Mulder and Scully, which I'm like, why? And the girl's name is Einstein. I'm like, why the fuck? You know what? This is an instance. You could have just brought in Agent Reyes and Doggett, Annabeth Gish and Robert Patrick. You could have just brought... Oh, by the way, Robert Patrick, his character is never mentioned. His character is never brought up. His character fucking disappears, I guess. Oh, I don't like it. Well, you know what? I don't like fucking Alien 3, but I have to fucking live with it. Oh, they're going to do another film. Yeah? Probably, what, 10 fucking years? Well, let's go to Alien 3 and 4 won't exist. Well, until it's made, then it doesn't fucking exist. Does it? Then they say it will. Then they say it won't. Then it says Alien 3 and 4 will be a part of it. Then they say they won't be a part of it. See, if they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, it still doesn't exist. I don't like Alien 3 and 4, but guess what? They're still fucking there. People don't like the later seasons? Then come up with a clever way. Be fucking smart about it. Don't be like, oh yeah, it's retcon. Because I'm fucking lazy and I'm fucking Chris Farter. Fuck Chris Farter. Get the fuck away, give it to someone else to write the shit. Because you're full of shit. And oh yeah, this episode, so the young, not Scully, ultimately Mulder convinces her to give him something, which later on is a placebo, but he thinks it's mushrooms, and has this spiritual vision that includes dancing the country music, including Achy Breaky Heart. When you have Achy Breaky Heart, you fucking fail! When you get Achy Breaky Heart with Billy Ray Cyrus, you fucking fail on the F scale of fuck! Ultimately, right then, fail. Achy Breaky Heart's in it, you fucking fail. Mulder in a spiritual vision dancing to Achy Breaky fucking Heart. How about Achy Breaky Nutsack because my nuts are hurting and coming into my fucking throat? And you get a cameo from the Lone Gunman because this is Crazy Vision and it's some other shitty country song. But dun da da, but dun da dun, whatever the fuck the words are. My hunky tonk, but dun da dun, funk da dun. I don't know what the fuck he said. I was too pissed off, like, what the fuck's going on? And then these fucking people on a boat singing a goofy song about rowing. No, it's not row your boat gently down the stream. That would be less funny. I forget what the fuck song. It was goofy as shit song. And seeing the same terrorist guy held by someone, whispering something to him, he wakes up, doesn't remember what the words are, then later on knows what the words are and is to a hotel where the terrorists are at. Then at the end has a talk with Scully, hears trumpets, I guess as if it's the voice of God that talked to him. I guess, was that the point? The episode? I guess I lost the point because I was fucking bored. I didn't give a shit about this young non-Mulder and young not Scully. They suck ass as characters. These are a hell lot better. Agent Dodgy kicked ass. Then you get to the last episode. My Struggle Part 2. Which should be the fucking title of this fucking video, My Struggle. So yeah, I liked the episode with the were-lizard thing. The twist where instead of a person who turns to a creature. It was a creature who is non-violent turned to a person who doesn't want to look for a job, and man, that it sucks to be a human. While on the offhand, there's a human killing people. And the Founder's Mutation, the one with the homeless people being protected by this guy who they named, the Trash Man or something like that. Interesting idea. A little bit hampered with stuff. But yeah, the fucking thing with the Muslim terrorists and fucking Dave Duchovny dancing to Badum, 80 Breaky Heart bullshit. And then this one, where the virus, which is not an alien virus, it's a virus created by men to take over America. Thank you. Did Bill O'Reilly write this shit? Is this Bill O'Reilly script? Is Chris Carter, did you sell everything to Bill O'Reilly? Have you write the fucking strips? You fucking Jesus Christ. What, you make another year and it'd be written by fucking Michael Moore? Christ. What I remember. Mulder gets in a fight with a guy and they're trying to do the fucking Bourne Identity type of fight scene. I'm like, yeah, because that would make sense in an X-Files. Yep. Mulder trying to get into a fucking Bourne Identity fight with a guy. He's not fucking Jack Bauer. He's Fox Mulder. You got the wrong Fox show. Cigarette Smoking Man's still alive. In the last episode, he was blown to nothing. He was in a cave. Helicopters, missiles shot at the cave. We see in slow motion him being blown back to nothing but bones. Bones. Oh no, he's in the hospital. He's badly burned, and later on he peels something in crappy CGI, so he has no nose. But like, no. He was bones. He was nothing left. Even Donald Pleasance I could buy, because they didn't show Donald Pleasance in slow motion turn into fucking bones at the end of Halloween 2. They did at the end of this. So that's bullshit. And I can't remember if there was talk of maybe he was Mulder's dad or something, which I'm like, that was thought of back in the day, and they said it was stupid because it brought up visuals of fucking Star Wars. I am your father. That's why they dropped it. But I could be making shit up on that one. That one I'm not 100% sure. I was sort of in a daze in my, like, seeing red at this retcon bullshit. And now the whole world is ending. People are getting sick left, right, and center, except Scully. Her abduction apparently made her immune. But what about Mulder's abduction? What about what happened in the Sixth Extinction 1 and 2? What about when the Cigarette Smoking Man had him laying down and fucking with his brain? What about when he got abducted in Season 8 to Season 9? No, what happened? Explain to me, Chris Farter. Please. Please do. I'm all ears. Fucking Dolph on Universal Soldier. Can you hear me? Chris Fucker. Farter. Fuckstick. I'm talking to you. I have no kind things to say on that. That's complete and utter bullshit. And people accept that. I don't fucking get it. As a fan of the show, I don't get it. They do this shit all the time nowadays. That's why I don't want to see Independence Day 2. Oh yeah, Will Smith's character is dead by the beginning of the film. I can already guarantee you that Bill Bowman's going to die. I can bet money on it. And I didn't even see the fucking movie. Because that's what they do. Star Wars. Let's kill off Han Solo. After Return of the Jedi, everything's fucking depressing. Han Solo and Leia, they separated after having a kid who went emo and killed everybody. And Luke, he failed at being a Jedi Master, so he ran away to do his fucking impersonation of the fucking Highlander on a fucking cliff. For years. Great! Good to know what happened to Luke, Leia, and Han. Han died, Leia went nowhere, and Luke failed and went to live on a fucking cliff waiting for the Highlander to arrive. fucking great. Universal Soldier, they bring Lou Devereaux back to make him a fucking bad guy and die. Like in Day of Raping. Kind of a bad guy, but kind of not, because of this and that. So he's not really a bad guy, but then and then he dies. They always bring these things back just to ruin it! I'm getting tired of it! Star Wars, kill Han Solo! Luke is up... He fucked up! He fucked up! He fucked up! Went on a cliff because he fucked up! Here, let's retcon all the shit of the mythology. Independence Day, let's just kill out Will Smith, because either he either thought the script sucked, or they wouldn't pay him, what was it, $50 million to do 2 movies. Whatever the fuck the reason is. Yeah, let's just kill him off. You always do that shit! I'm tired of it! So everyone's getting sick, everyone's dying, Scully's trying to figure out because her DNA is alien DNA. And looks like everyone's going to die. Mulder looks like he's going to die from the virus. And I'm like, so all that shit they went through with the 6 Extinction episodes and all that stuff, that didn't fucking matter, I guess. Because aliens didn't do any of this. And then it ends with Mulder, Scully, and non-Mulder, the young fuck that I don't give a shit about, on a bridge. And the alien UFO that we saw was government built in the first episode. And there was like a girl in the first episode that they were trying to help. And like by the end of it, she got blown up by that thing. It's hovering over them, shines a bright light. They're looking up and cut to black. End credits. On a cliffhanger or whatever. While the world is ending. And everything I heard about Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead, where, oh yeah, Ash causes everything from the very beginning, so every single person who dies, it's his fault. Every single person who dies, it's his fucking fault. The world's ending at the end of season 1 because it's his fault. Everyone who dies and becomes a Deadeye is his fault. It's like that on the others. No, it's not. It was actually his buddy Scott who kept playing the tape in Evil Dead 1. The others wanted to stop it. In Evil Dead 2, it's just a sequel to Evil Dead 1, so the same thing applies. Plus, the professor was there before who read the book or played the tape and started it. Not Ash. Army of Darkness, he goes back in time. Evil was there to begin with. He fucked up one time. When he forgot the words. And in 5 minutes, you know what he did? He said, I'm through running, trained a bunch of fucking knights to kick ass, take names, and at the end of the day, join 2 fucking feuding nations together. And the evil that was there at the beginning is finally gone. For good. So it ended on a good note. And Ash was not an asshole in the first 2 movies. But people tend to forget that. Ash was an asshole in Army of Darkness. Oh yeah, after killing his friends because they were Deadites, his girlfriend dying, cutting his own fucking hand off, getting beaten up, almost drowned, possessed, unpossessed, fucked up, fucked through stairs, punched, kicked, transport back in time, put in chains, tipped into a pit that's climbing down with fucking Deadites, pushing with spikes. Fucking Spice climbs up. I'd be pissed too. So I don't blame him being pissed. Well, he's pissed at the woman. Yeah, the woman that threw fucking rocks at him for no reason or was fucking trying to strangle his ass before he got thrown down a fucking pit. I'd be pissed too with all the shit I've been through. Sorry, I'm on another tangent. That's why I never want to watch that fucking show. The only way I would watch that fucking show is someone fucking paid me a good price for it. Fuck Ash vs. Evil Dead. Fuck Independence Day Resurgence. Fuck Star Wars, The Fuck Awakens, and fuck this show. Yeah, I like 2 or 3 episodes, but the shit that you did pisses me off. You just suck my dick, Chris Farter. Go fuck yourself.